Fear is a liar, let God's promises speak louder today. My beloved daughter, I see the ache in your heart. You've prayed quietly, cried silently, and carried the weight of confusion like a stone in your chest. You love him. He says he loves you too. But if that were enough, why does your spirit still feel unsettled? Why does peace leave the room every time his name is mentioned alongside hers? Let me say this gently, but firmly, he loves you. But not through me. There is a love that feels real, deep, even sacred. But if that love pulls you away from my peace, it is not born of me. If it stirs more questions than answers, more tears than rest, it is not anchored in my will. For I am not the author of confusion. I am the Prince of Peace. You've held on, hoping the love you feel is a sign. But daughter, not every deep emotion is divine alignment. Not every bond is a covenant. And not every man who says I love you is walking the path I ordained for you. You ask, why would God allow someone to love me if he's not meant to stay? Because even love can be a test. Even affection can become an idol if it replaces your trust in me. His love may be sincere, but if he is not led by my spirit, that sincerity can still break you. And I love you far too much to let you build your future on unstable ground. You've seen his tenderness. You've heard his promises. You've felt chosen, until she appears. Then everything shifts. The warmth becomes cold. The clarity becomes cloudy. And your heart begins to wonder if you're enough. But hear this from my lips, you are not the problem. You are not asking for too much. You are simply waiting for a love that is led by me. Not by emotion, confusion, or guilt. In the book of Proverbs, it is written, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3:5-6, KJV 1925. Daughter, do not lean on the words of a man who does not yet know how to follow my lead. Do not build your peace on the promises of someone who still listens to voices I did not send. If he truly belonged to you in my divine plan, his love would not compete with your clarity. It would protect your spirit. It would reflect my nature, patient, kind, not envious, not boastful, not proud. 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. And so I speak to your soul now. It is okay to let go of love that does not lead you closer to me. It is okay to release what feels right but pulls you from your calling. I will never ask you to settle for half-hearted devotion while I've prepared a love that mirrors heaven. Let me love you first. Let me fill the empty places with peace. Let me hold your heart until the right hands arrive, hands I have sanctified for your future. And as you wait, remain rooted in truth. Stay close to my word. Come back here to hear what I'm speaking. This channel exists as a sanctuary for your spirit, a resting place in the wilderness. Follow it not just for messages, but for reminders that you are seen, chosen, and fiercely loved. If this word found you at the right time, it is not coincidence. It is confirmation. My child, you've sensed it, haven't you? That strange shift in the atmosphere whenever she comes near. The heaviness that drapes over your joy. The delay in his replies. The way his presence begins to feel distant, like he's standing in the same room but his spirit is somewhere else. You've blamed yourself. You've wondered. Am I imagining this? But I, the Lord your God, am here to tell you, you're not overreacting. You're discerning, because she's not just a woman from his past. She's not just a friend, she is a voice, soft, subtle, strategic. She speaks not to his soul but to his weakness. She doesn't shout. She doesn't argue. She whispers through memories, guilt, and emotional debts he's never healed from. And though she seems calm on the outside, she's stirring a storm in the spirit. You see, manipulation doesn't always wear black robes and scream chaos. Sometimes it wears a smile. Sometimes it gives good advice at the wrong time. It plays the helper while planting seeds of confusion. It doesn't tear down with anger, it distracts with comfort. She knows when to show up, when to vanish, when to play the victim, when to seem selfless, while weaving control into every kind word. That's how spiritual warfare often works, disguised as grace, wrapped in gentleness, but rooted in deception. She isn't just standing beside him, she's shaping his decisions. She isn't just existing in his life, she's rewiring his vision, and he doesn't even see it, because she speaks the language of familiarity. But I see it. I see it all, and I'm not revealing this to breed bitterness in you. I'm revealing it to set you free from the lie that you must compete, from the belief that you must be better to win his full heart, from the weight of thinking that if you were just more patient, more forgiving, more silent, he would finally choose you. Child, hear me, I did not call you to be chosen through comparison. I did not anoint you to be part of a tug of war between clarity and confusion. You were meant to walk in peace. You were created to carry purpose, not prove your place against another woman's influence. Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn." This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Isaiah 54:17, KJV 1925. This manipulation, this gentle warfare, is not just aimed at him. It's aimed at you, too. It's trying to weaken your confidence, to make you doubt my timing, to make you question what I've already confirmed in your spirit. But I say to you now, let not your heart be troubled. Your discernment is not a burden, it's a gift. Stay in my presence. Keep listening. Keep trusting. And remember, you don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to chase to be chosen. And you don't need to fight her to win. Because what I've ordained, no voice, no matter how sweet, can cancel. This space, this channel, this moment, it's holy ground. I'm meeting you here because you need more than clarity. You need courage. So follow this place of peace. Not just with your click, but with your heart. Let every word you hear be a reminder, you're not crazy. You're covered. My daughter, I know you've asked this question over and over again in the quiet corners of your heart. If he loves me, why does he stay close to her? Why does he protect her comfort more than he protects my peace? Why does it always feel like I'm standing in the shadow of something he won't let go? Let me speak clearly now, because I have seen your silent suffering, and I will not let your spirit keep drowning in uncertainty. He is not being led by love. He is being held by guilt. This is not the love I designed, this is not the leadership I anointed him to walk in, and this is not the future I want you to build upon. He stays not because he is certain of her, but because he's afraid. Afraid of being the bad man. Afraid of leaving someone who once stood by him in a storm. Even if that loyalty now drags him away from the calling on his life, she whispers to him, not in truth, but in debt, remember what I did for you? You owe me. If you leave now, you're selfish. You're ungrateful. You're wrong. That's not love. That's emotional captivity, that's not devotion. That's a spiritual soul tie that wraps itself in past comfort and poisons future clarity. He is trying to protect a wound I never asked him to bandage. He's playing peacekeeper in a war I never called him to fight. But what he doesn't see is this: by trying not to hurt her, he's slowly hurting you. And losing me. You've tried to be understanding. You've been patient, gentle, forgiving. But every time he returns from her world, he brings a piece of her confusion with him. And daughter, I never asked you to build your hope on a man who is divided. I am a God of wholeness. I do not split hearts between truth and guilt. I do not bless bonds that cost you your peace, and I will not watch you shrink your spirit just to fit inside his indecision. 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness?" 2 Corinthians 6:14, KJV 1925. If he's still listening to voices I did not send, if his steps are guided more by obligation than revelation, then even though his love may feel deep, it will never be stable, because a man who isn't free can't lead you forward. And that's what I want for you, forward. You were not born to circle emotional chaos. You were not created to carry the cost of his confusion. You were meant to rise, to rest, to be loved with clarity, not complication. Let me deal with his heart. Let me speak to the strings that bind him. Let me break the chains she formed with her silence, her guilt, her timing. And while I do that, you, my precious daughter, keep your eyes on me. Not on her, not on him, on me. Stay planted in my word. Stay surrounded by my voice. Stay close to this space where I speak directly to your soul. Because I'm not just here to inform you, I'm here to heal you. My child, you've been fighting a battle I never asked you to fight. You've been trying to prove your place, to secure a space in his heart that I already prepared for you in my divine design. You've stood silently through his indecision. You've tolerated delays, swallowed your discernment, and waited, hoping your patience would become the proof he needed to finally choose you. But hear me now, I did not create you to compete for a place that was never supposed to be contested. You are not some backup plan. You are not the emotional safety net he runs to when her influence dries up. You are not the woman he should keep on hold while he sorts out what he feels for someone I never sent. I crafted your heart with eternal value. I wrote your worth in heaven before he ever whispered your name. So why, daughter, do you stay quiet when your spirit is screaming that this isn't right? You don't have to win love that's already yours in me. You don't have to perform for someone who should already be praying to keep you, and you certainly don't have to earn affection through someone else's absence. I know you keep asking, should I hold on? Should I fight a little longer? Maybe if I love him harder. he'll finally see. But listen, I never called you to convince someone to love you. I called you to stand in truth. I called you to dwell in peace, and I called you to recognize manipulation, even when it's dressed in silence and smiles. Romans 8:28 reminds you, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28, KJV 19:25. This is your reminder, you are the called, you are not lost in this season. You are not forgotten, you are positioned, and I am preparing something greater than what you're clinging to right now. But in order to step into that, you must release the need to be chosen by someone who still entertains confusion, because if he is not being led by me, then every step he takes toward you will also carry the residue of her influence. And daughter, I didn't ask you to beg for a love I've already promised you in covenant. I asked you to trust me, even when it looks like letting go. So here's what I need from you now: let go of striving, let go of competing, let go of the belief that you must diminish yourself to fit into someone else's indecision. You are not here to earn what I've already declared over your life. You are here to receive it, with peace, with clarity, with confidence. Stay close to me. Let my word fill you. Let my presence affirm you. And stay connected to this place where I continue to speak directly to your heart. These messages are not random. They are reminders from heaven that you don't have to fight for what's already yours in the Spirit. My beloved, you've told yourself it's just a rough season. You've whispered, maybe he's confused. You've prayed, Lord, give him time. But time has passed, and the peace you once felt has not returned. Instead, you feel tired, emotionally spent. Your prayers are filled with more pleading than praise. Your mind replays conversations like echoes in a cave, trying to find where things shifted. Let me speak plainly. With the gentleness only a father can offer, love that continually wounds your spirit is not love I sent. It doesn't matter how sincere his words sound, it doesn't matter how tightly he holds you one day, then grows cold the next. If his love brings confusion instead of clarity, heaviness instead of healing, then it is not from me. You see, there is a difference between a man who feels deeply and a man who is spiritually ready. There is a difference between emotion and obedience, and I, the Lord your God, do not bless emotion detached from truth. That's why you've been so unsettled, because your heart keeps trying to make excuses for what your spirit already knows. This love, though real in feeling, is not aligned with my will. He may run to you when the world falls apart. He may look at you like you're home. But daughter, if he is still listening to the voice of another, whether it's guilt, history, or manipulation, he cannot carry the love you deserve. John 10:27 says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27, KJV 19:25. If he's not hearing me, he's not following me, and if he's not following me, no matter how much he says he loves you, he will always lead you in circles, not because he's evil, but because he's divided between what feels safe and what is sacred, divided between comfort and calling, divided between the woman who reflects his past and the one who was sent for his future. And every time he chooses the familiar over the faithful, Your heart takes the blow. But I never asked you to stay in a place where you have to keep proving your worth. I never called you to carry both your heart and his confusion. You don't need love that stutters when it should stand. You don't need affection that retreats when it gets real. You don't need someone who loves you in the shadows but hesitates to protect you in the light. What I give is whole. What I send carries peace. What I align will not need constant repair. Stay close to me. Stay grounded in my word. And stay connected to the places where my truth is spoken without compromise, including here. I have more to show you, more to heal in you, and more to prepare for you. This journey you're on, it isn't about heartbreak. It's about alignment. I'm not punishing you. I'm positioning you because what's next for you requires your full heart, not one still entangled in someone else's indecision. If he returns, he won't return the same. My precious daughter, you've reached the edge of something sacred, the place where surrender begins, where your prayers shift from fix him to free me, where your tears turn from desperation into trust. And I want you to know, this isn't the end of your story, this is the beginning of your awakening. You've carried the weight of what ifs for too long. What if he finally chooses me? What if he wakes up and realizes it's always been me? What if I let go, and he becomes everything I prayed for, but with someone else? Daughter, listen to me. If he is truly written into your destiny, he will return, but he won't return the same. He will not come back with guilt in his hands and confusion in his voice. He will not come back half healed, half sure, and half yours if I send him back. He will come whole, he will come restored, he will come surrendered to me first, and then to you. Because I don't do halfway healing. I don't recycle pain into promises. When I restore completely. But if he is not the man I've ordained, then I will close the door, not to punish you, but to protect you. And I need you to trust my no as much as you trust my yes, because what you're calling delay might actually be divine rescue. What you're calling heartbreak might be heaven's redirection. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth, shall ye not know it?" Isaiah 43:19, KJV 1925. I'm doing something new in you. I'm opening your eyes. I'm lifting the veil. I'm breaking generational patterns of waiting for men who don't choose you, hoping for validation from people I never sent, holding space for relationships that were only meant to teach you, not tether you. And now, I'm setting you free, free to believe again, free to feel peace without guilt, free to walk away without looking back, free to love yourself without needing someone else's approval. Let me fill the places he left empty. Let me rebuild your identity, not around his return, but around my presence, because you were never meant to pause your joy waiting for someone to see your worth. I saw it before the foundation of the world. So rest, daughter, take a deep breath and let go, not in bitterness, but in boldness. Let go of the version of love you imagined and make room for the love I have promised. And if he returns, it will be because I sent him back, healed, whole, and ready. But if not, then I will send someone who never needed convincing in the first place. This is not rejection. This is redirection. This is me fighting for you, even when you didn't know what to pray for. Stay in my word. Stay close to my presence. Stay anchored in this place, this channel, this community, where my voice will always meet your silence.